What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Nick Robinson, again, back with the Yara Effect. So, the mid-season trailer for Real Housewives of Atlanta has dropped. And, honey, I was worried about this season because it seemed like it was moving a bit slow. It was doing not much at all. But I actually watched the mid-season trailer, and I'm happy to report that it seems to be picking up. So, let's get right to it. So Phaedra Parks has returned, right? She and Porsha are back to their freaking frack status, I guess. She said Wonder Twins activate. They all good. They all excited. They hugging each other and all of that. So the energy is really high. And then we see where her and Cheik, honey, if y'all remember, she started dating him when she was on Married to Medicine. Her and Cheik are somewhere and they all hugged up on the sofa and they kissing and whatnot and talking about leaving early. I'm like, okay, so she has maintained this even outside of the filming of Married to Medicine where she departed early. Okay, so I'm eager to see what happens with this. Do I think it's going to be a thing for real? Nope, I don't. But she's having fun with it. Clearly, he's having fun with it. So let's see. Now we move on to Miss Kelli and Miss Brit, honey. They seem to be on the outs, but what's going on? Like, why are they having a hard time? We see a clip where Shamea is speaking with Kelli, and she's saying that she haven't spoken with Brit since the Grenada trip, right? So we also see where Brit is calling Kelli a hobbit. Girl, what in the world happened? Like, I'm like, wow, wait, because right now in the show, they're still like really cool. They're still like doing their thing, right? They still just having a good time, breast out, just, hanging. All right. So we see where Shamea is really just having a hard time with her friendship with Porsha. It's like for some reason, her and Porsha just can't get it together, right? And we see her crying and we see her like being supported by the girls. We see where Brit is like confronting Porsha, like, girl, she showed me the text messages. This is not how you're supposed to be as a best friend. Nobody is on Porsha's side with this, okay? Porsha sitting there, and this is what frustrates me with Porsha. When Porsha is wrong, she sits there and acts as if, you know what I'm saying, she don't know what she did wrong. I'm sitting here like, girl, you know exactly what you did wrong. It's not like Shamea hasn't been trying to tell you. It's not like you don't know. You're not slow. I think Porsha does that just to try to avoid accountability. That's just my opinion, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's jump back into it because I'm looking at my notes right now because I didn't want to miss one single detail that came up on that clip. Okay, so also Angela is even telling Porsha how Shamea feels. Why is it taking all the cast members to tell you and show you what you should understand about your best friend? Y'all been friends since y'all was kids. You can't be that into yourself that you don't see how your actions or whatever is impacting somebody else. I mean, honestly, how uninsightful, like, how unself-aware can you be? Okay. And Porsha, my girl, like, I don't really have a problem with Porsha per se. It's just, come on, Porsha, come on now, you can do better than this. Okay, so here we are. Shamea and Kelli, in the midst of her falling further and further apart from Porsha, Shamea and Kelli are hosting the trip for the cast this year, and they come out with the matching bathing suits. They looking all cute, and it seems to just further signify the divide between Kelli and Brit, because Angela is shady, and she is just, as it shapes out, she's turning out to be like kind of like the MVP, giving us a throwback to what we're used to on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, because she was like, well, Brit's all upset about being left out and I'm here for it. She just kind of throwing light shade or whatever, because her and Brit just seem not to get along for whatever reason ever since the whole Kenya thing happened. Okay, so let's move on. We have Drew, honey, being locked out of her house. Like, what is going on with Raph? Has he lost his mind? I understand y'all are going through a divorce. As it seems, you guys both have rights to the house. That's why you're still downstairs in the basement. So how could you change the locks on her? I am a resident of Georgia, and I know for a fact that You can't just change the locks on somebody. You have to file a formal eviction and you have to give them 30 days. So what's going on? Okay, like really, Raph, what are you doing? Okay. She of course is upset at the fact also that he's saying that he owns Drew Sidora LLC. He's a rightful owner. Like, okay, child. For her sake, I hope he's not right, because what is she going to do if that's the case? I hope he's not right. I don't want her entire identity being stripped away by her ex-husband. That's crazy to me. Like, come on. And y'all got kids together. How do you co-parent after something like this? Honestly. Speaking of Ralph, what is that weird question that Porsha was asking him about sniffing women and well he sniffed them? Girl. Okay. Is Porsha on some get back for what she feels is them, as in Dennis and Drew, wronging her for working together, filming together, or what have you? Like, what is that about, Porsha? I don't know. Girl, she just all over the place. I think Porsha, because, you know, she's a Cancer, right? Cancer people are very emotional. She all over the place about her divorce. She can't even film in her own house. She can't even talk about, you know, her marriage too much or nothing. So I think Portia's just all over the place a little bit. And that's coming across on the season this year because, you know, she's not really Porsha. I see that it seems that she's getting it back with the return of Phaedra. And maybe that's what it takes. I don't know. But anyway, moving on. Porsha and Drew finally have this sit down that they've been avoiding doing this whole season. And honey, they are calling each other out about the men they may or may not be dating. So, not sure what that's about. Somebody was saying that Porsha and Future are dating. Like, why would she do that? We all know that Future is just not somebody to seriously date. Not saying that she should be seriously dating, but it's like, what would be the purpose of that except a good lay? And if you just trying to get a good lay, then, you know, you wouldn't have any evidence of that in the form of pictures that Drew was mentioning in that clip. So, Porsha also accuses her of sleeping with or dating somebody else while she's still married as well. So, I mean, that looks messy and I'm here for it. Let's be honest, because they should have been had to sit down a long time ago to try to get some understanding and clarity. But it just looks like they're mudslinging, they're tomato throwing, whatever. Moving on to Miss Angela, honey, Angela Oakley. She admits that her husband Charles does not wear his wedding ring. Okay, so I feel that with whether you're a man or a woman, you should wear your ring. For example, there are men that work with their hands. My husband is one of them, and he still wears a rubber ring, right, to indicate that he's taken, he's not on the market. He, you know, is showing by evidence of a ring as well as behavior, okay, that he is married. So I feel that if you are a married person, man or woman, you should wear your ring at all times, okay? That's just my thoughts. Some people aren't into that, and that's fine. But I mean, hey, I would want, you know, my husband to wear his ring at all times. And I don't blame Angela for wanting him to wear his ring, but at the same time, you can't make a man do what he doesn't want to do. So what do? I mean, you know, she admitted that he doesn't. But then we hear where he is perhaps under some type of cheating allegation. Phaedra is telling the girls, hey, you know, Charles is cheating. And they like, oh my goodness, you know, they all very reactive to it because, of course, you hear something like that and it's like, uh-oh, you know, their mouths are hanging open. Okay, so what else? Yeah, at the end, we close this out with Angela telling somebody that they are a horrible person. Like, who is she talking to? Like, what's going on? We see that she seems to be in some kind of physical contact with a man that's way taller than, that she's way taller than, you know, whatever. I don't know. But this is, I think, what we were waiting for as far as the season. We needed something to kind of keep our interest in the show because it was kind of like iffy. You know, of course, the plateau thus far that we've seen is Kenya and Brit getting into it. We've come down off of that, and it's kind of been a little lazy, in my opinion. It's been a little boring, in my opinion. And now we see that it ramps up the second half. So, what do you guys think? Have you guys seen the trailer yet? Go check it out. Let me know what you think. I think that the second half of the season is going to salvage the reputation of the franchise, because Real Housewives of Atlanta is one of those that just kind of was the number one Real Housewives franchise for a while until Beverly Hills took over. They're climbing back up. They're coming back up. They've revamped the cast. And we see now where they're really, I think the personalities are getting more real. I think they're shedding that new girl, stank off of them, the girls that are new. And Porsha, I think, just needed a little boost that she got from Phaedra. For whatever reason, her and Shamea can't get it together. So I don't know. That's all I got for now. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, share all the good things. I appreciate it. We're going to keep rocking with it. We're going to keep going. And we're going to keep just talking. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.